You're gonna have to push me because I'm not.
It's
It's not rolling.
leg against leg.
There we go.
Morning, Jay. Looking like the king without clothes there, Bill.
What?
You have no clothes.
Oh, yeah. Are we going to the meeting in Scarville?
Yeah.
Melissa's there. Well, it's 9 o'clock. Let's see, pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
consider for approval minutes and agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes and agenda.
I will second that.
On a motion from Jensvold and a second from Stenzer to approve the minutes and agenda as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. So Scott is not with us today. So I guess we don't have anything we can discuss with him on that part of it. We'll move on to, unless you guys want to bring anything up just for the record.
I didn't bring anything up.
Go on to number 3, discussion with possible action, resolution vacating excess right-of-way in Logan Township, sections 8 and 9. So, you had called each of us already,
Correct.
Alan. Have you seen the note that came from Scott Minders on this?
Well, is that the,
I told him the highlights.
Yeah. So that spells out his side of the case.
okay. Yeah, I guess just some more details that we, by the floor.
Yeah, go ahead.
Anyway, yeah. It was discovered there was an issue up there. This water, the land up in that area was just not draining at all. And the first thing that was noticed was the culvert at the state line road was plugged, and so Pelican basically dug that out, first and stuff. And anyway, that took the water down to some degree, but things just still weren't happening, and so we walked up in there. My son Jeff did, and saw what was going on with these beaver dams and stuff. So he worked that. I didn't get up in and do that kind of stuff, but to break the beaver dams out, to get the water down to some degree, and they would just build them back up. At that point, we got somebody in there to trap the beaver to get that part of it stopped. And that's when Scott did come back up there at that point with the thing to clean some of that out. But since then, and I thought that Sean might have been here today, because with Scott being gone, we almost weren't gonna be here at all today, you know, so he could be here, but I thought, well, more information for you guys, you know.
Right.
But anyway, it was left at that point. In fact, I had called Scott after I saw the excavator sitting up there as to, well, okay, what's the rest of the plan gonna be? Because with Helgeson's input and stuff on, and they're in the business and knowing what to do with some of these things, the property has become overgrown with willows and trees, and it's just a mess up in there, and there needs to be probably a true blue ditch cut through there to help the water leave the area, whatever. And so the beaver dams were just part of the problem. And so to fast forward to July 30th, the next thing I find out is that the solution, instead of coming up with a solution that, you know, Scott, Sean and I had talked to him about, all of a sudden I find out that they have vacated the property. And so, which was a surprise to me. I feel like it was Scott pulled a fast one on how to get rid of a problem and throw the problem over the fence to somebody else, is what it amounts to. Because this is a situation that the county took this over in 1970, and there's been 50 years of neglect up there to create the mess that it is. And at this point, to just, like I say, throw it over the fence to somebody else, I think is dirty pool, you know, best way I can put it.
And the new landowner knew nothing of this and didn't even necessarily want it back. Because now he's gonna have to pay taxes on it, and then he's gonna be the one that's gonna have to clean up the mess that has been put there by secondary roads over the, I mean, and not that they put it there, it's just that it's property you just don't pay attention to. There's all kinds of other things going on in the world. It's easy to see how you could forget that place thrown over. It really didn't hurt much. But,
Well, it was a key piece of information that should have been brought up when he brought this situation to us, and that was omitted.
He talked about the beaver dam, but he also talked about that it had been removed.
But that wasn't the end of the problem.
yeah, no, he did not elaborate, give us all the details of what the situation was in that area.
Well, and then when I stopped over there and talked with Corey Herrick a little bit, and I'll give you this. This is something he presented to me,
This is interesting.
and I guess I don't know who wants to look at it first, but that is dated 1970.
In essence, we don't have a easement, we own it.
If you
And that was left out of the discussion.
the back page, it gives the amount that we paid for it. Paid for it in two installments.
Well, I guess I'd like to have the county attorney look at this.
Yeah.
Our next step, to have her.
Well, which is fine, but again, like, I think Scott left out a whole lot of information to you guys, like the ongoing discussion between Sean and I, and what needed to be done there to truly fix this mess. And then just to throw it over the fence back to Corey, with the mess that it's in today, that it never was back in 1970, overgrown like that. You know, so I mean, there's a couple things here, and
If you'll notice on here, one of the things they're paying for is crop damages. It used to be farm ground. It's the crop damage, some soybean damage, I believe it was. Soybeans.
so if there was some notice given, Corey doesn't know anything about it, and he'll be at the next meeting, for the sake of, because Scott wasn't here, basically things changed up, and I just about wasn't here either, but, so those two will both be here next time, but, I guess, the first that Corey knew that he was getting it
Closed doors.
back,
It was
We can leave it open now, the noise in the hallway's
Yeah,
gone.
we had some people out there making lots of noise.
The first that Corey knew of any of this, was when I stopped up there to see what was going on with that property, acknowledging that, a section, or sections, or, townships and stuff. And he said, no, he's got nothing to do with it. That was sold to the county years ago. And then the next conversation that he found out he was back involved was the letter that was sent by Scott that he just received last Friday, which is that.
Did you get a CC on that? Did you get a copy of that letter?
No, I saw that copy.
Let me get copies of everything and how many do we want?
I went out there yesterday, walked out into
How many do you
there,
want?
looked at the stuff. There's probably
I
another
want one.
beaver dam out there.
You guys want one?
Of the letter, yeah.
I didn't have the right boots on to go any further to see if there was, but you could hear water trickling over something. And I assume it was probably.
In looking at that one map there, they got the old road, which has created, your straight north and south dam, if you want to call it that, along there. And then it comes around where they dug through that road to let the water out. Well, there's things going on the east side of that old road also, and that's what Bill's referring to as far as hearing the trickling of water and stuff up there.
Howdy.
Well, what troubles me, and it troubles me greatly, is the obfuscation of, this isn't the first time that's happened with the department down there. And to me, it's getting quite old. I don't know
Yeah,
how you guys feel about information being left out of decisions that really have a lot of ramifications to them. And like I say, it's getting very, very old.
Well, I don't know how, like I say, I feel like Sean and I were stabbing the back on this thing, because we were having discussions with him, and all of a sudden it's just over, and it's thrown over the fence like this. And then, even for Corey, who thinks that he has nothing to do with it, it's been sold 50 years ago. And all of a sudden he gets a letter saying, here you go, you got a problem.
But it's already on Beacon that way. It's already, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
Well, and it maybe has been,
I don't think he's done signed anything.
because when
No,
Al told me before this process started, and Al told me that he found out it's in the county, what, they have an easement or?
Easement is what I was
Just for
told.
the audio record, state your name before you say something, okay?
Right now,
Yeah, would you please?
Sean Helgeson.
Okay, perfect.
But back in, when we were back there, May or June?
May.
May. And he looked and he said, he found these beaver dams, and, I looked back then and it was still with Corey and Beacon. It wasn't the county map. I gotta see those.
I believe, for the sake of those that haven't been there, that this is where this is the old road right here, okay? And this is where Bill and I walked up to there yesterday. And this has been cut out, for water to go through, but there's also, this channel kind of comes along and goes along what would have been the old road did.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're high tech here.
all right.
does it work?
Yeah.
Okay, sometimes you gotta shake it.
It'll shake, or this will shake probably. Okay, so you can see where the flow of the water probably goes along then through the old road. But back in here is where Bill and I heard some things going on yesterday, so we don't know, we couldn't get there. But then it goes down through to here, and there's been some cleaning that took place in this area right here, but it's just mess down through these willows and whatnot that it's just a disaster.
I suppose having the fuel or the materials for the beavers to work with is part of the problem.
Right.
Well, there's,
There's maybe 100+ feet of beaver dam, if you guys have been out there. So I mean, this is been there a while.
Yeah,
Well, that one beaver dam that, I mean, the one pile where they dug the one out was a big pile. I mean, there was a lot of stuff in it.
So it's not far for them to put it back in.
No, yeah, they just,
but this has just been, like I say, it's just, it looks like it was a ditch once upon a time, and it has filled in, and it's just an overrun mess of,
So looking at
Trees.
above and to the right of that, there's a curved dark line.
well, that's,
That's the old ditch road where the
that's
original.
probably the old
Yeah.
roadbed, the old curve. yeah.
According to this picture here.
Mhm.
yep. And so then this area in between, was farmable,
Right.
you know, before the blacktop got put in.
So I'm curious where the drainage was prior. It probably went alongside the road there and then it must have crossed the road up farther than.
Well, to the left of the first curve, you can see the natural, I don't know if it's a natural that's been dug on the north side of the road, right there at the start of the curve, Al.
Right there,
No, north side of the road.
Yeah,
over here.
Keep going right.
yeah, I was talking by the tree
there.
there. Yeah,
Now,
Right where the
across the
culvert-
road,
That's the outlet.
right there.
yeah.
So,
But before we changed the road, I'm wondering. It must have-
What the
it
natural
must-
flow pattern.
It must have crossed east and west down there a little bit.
No, this Gary Helgeson, no, that, what you see there was back forever.
Yeah. But
That, nothing on that left
where
creek
would the
has ever
water
been
have gone
changed.
then? Where would the water have gone then?
Exactly right south of Ron Penning's Creek. Because that's where the dude threw the gravel road,
Oh,
the
I know,
state
but-
line is.
so you're saying when the road used to go like this,
Yeah,
it probably crossed east and west, then went north.
no, because the box culvert's up there right now.
Now, where's the point to the box, the concrete box cover
that's right
still
there.
there?
No, in the
Oh,
road bed.
Oh, this right here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that about where it
Yeah.
is?
Yeah, no, that left
It came through there and then went
in there
down
for,
that channel that you still see
there's
today.
no new
Because
channel.
originally the road was straight all the way through. It was just a 90-degree.
yeah, I think there's been three different, you know, derivatives of this. I think it went straight, then I think it curved, and
Yeah,
then it does
and
this.
it made that, I think you could be right there.
I think according to, if you look at that, it also shows. It's probably right.
Slight curve, 70.
Yeah,
I got one.
but, now in, Scott's email to us, he indicated that what has happened, that what we voted on last week was permanent. And, is that so?
That's right.
I would assume we can reverse any decision we make, can't we?
Anything can be done.
That's what I thought. So he made it sound like it's a
and
done
there
deal.
again, misinformation.
But I go back to the information on that we own the land, we didn't just, is it ours to vacate back to them? I mean, it's ours to hold, but we'd have to sell it to get rid of it.
Well, and I think there should be some negotiation with the other party if you're gonna just, that's how that usually works.
Yeah, usually when you're gonna take ownership of something, you like to know about it ahead of time.
Yeah.
And especially if it's coming with all kinds of, extracurricular problems, there ain't many people who say, oh, yeah, no, I want that, no.
It would be no different than me selling you my place for very cheap, knowing full well I got something buried on it and passing the problem on to you.
It's,
So that's why I thought just as well come and give you this information today and let you guys talk about it, because I think there's something to talk about. You know,
you know, even, you know,
That's what we all thought, except that's when Casey, Corey, brought in this.
Yeah, but it says final payment for right of way, which would be just right away, that doesn't mean we own it.
On the page before that,
It says sell twice.
it says, I have good and lawful authority to sell and convey the same. And I do hereby.
And trying to, we talked a little bit about the price of land. That would have been approximately the sale price of land back in those days. So it wouldn't, an easement, I don't know what you had done for an easement, something less or what, but that's the going rate.
I guess I'd like to just start with having the county attorney look at it and at least sort that part of it out to start with, and then we'll probably look at it however that goes.
I mean, has he probably ever done everything legally, in a sense? Probably so. But there has been some common courtesy left out here, I think, so it's,
Well, if we own it, I'm not so sure everything has been done legally.
yeah.
That's what I want to
I
find
guess
out.
we'll have to find that one out. It's- The way you read it, you know, I mean, it says sell on one page, but the actual transaction, it doesn't. So.
The document that she signed though, Corey's mother, is the page that says sell.
Yeah.
That's what was signed.
I'm not sure we can say anything more until we find out from our attorney.
Attorney and then have Scott here next week and,
It's disappointing to say the least.
I don't like making decisions with only part of the information.
But you did.
But you did.
Well, we thought we had all the information. We made the decision.
Nobody gave me any other information that stated anything different than what we got from Scott, so we only got part of the information.
If,
Not knowing the rest of it existed.
So his information to you guys was what? And you
So
basically.
they went in there, took out the beaver dams and the you know, we
that
really
the
don't.
problem was fixed.
Yes, and like Al said, and it's hard to get anywhere with Scott. We were trying to work at a solution to make this not really improve and manage or maintain what used to be.
Well, and I kind of feel like shame on me for not bringing you guys into it. But I thought that we had dialogue going with Scott to resolve this without bringing you guys into it. And that's what we got in
I'm
return for
gonna
that.
read you what Worth County supervisors demand from their engineer. And we don't get that here. It is the duty of the engineer to work in strict cooperation with the board of supervisors in planning and supervision of the construction of secondary roads. And so it's not us working in strict cooperation with the engineer, it's he working in strict cooperation with us.
Yeah, I think we're getting off topic on
No, we're not. This all has to do with what's on the agenda.
But I mean, I'm satisfied. I mean, at this point, you guys have got some more information and he'll be here next week and we can go from there. I mean,
Yep.
you know,
That's best to take it one step at a time and get all the facts.
and also Corey will be here next week also.
Okay.
You know, so.
All right,
That's the best.
thank you for the
Well, so
information.
we don't have anything today, but
I guess we'll move on to number 4.
Thank you.
Title
Yeah,
section
see you later.
for the Iowa. This was sent out to us earlier.
Yeah, you know, on my, I have it on the page.
that's the information there.
Well, it's a formal filing with the DOT, non-discriminatory type.
That's, our attorney's looked at that, you know.
I don't know, Scott brought it up, or Becky brought it up to me this morning. We're actually supposed to meet with this lady on Friday. to discuss this.
Let's table it, okay? I don't wanna do any more making decisions without having information at hand.
Or taking the time to read it all.
Yeah,
Well, it was sent to us.
that was?
I saw it, in the last week, I think.
Well, I must have missed it.
Saw it.
Well, I'm sure with all, oh, I shouldn't say I'm sure. Yeah, they're referring to a lot of codes, so.
So no one showed up at the meeting this morning at 9 o'clock, including no one from the city. Joe Meyer and Melissa gave us till 9:10 and left.
That's weird.
Yeah, I think we need to rely on Kelsey, because there's a ton of codes referred to in here, so
I'm not sure if she's seen it or not.
Sure.
I don't know.
I say we table it till next week.
You guys own the property, or they own the property?
We'll find out.
We're not sure.
That's what Kelsey's gonna have to tell us.
So there's no way to go back and look in deeds to find out whether or not it was transferred over to us
Well,
or to the county?
We'll have to do that.
Oh, okay, all right.
That's our
The
step,
assessor
that's
just-
our step we're doing now.
The assessor just handled this. Probably ask her whether we actually had ownership of it. She was that record.
Well, she handled part of the recorder.
Well, the recorder
We
recorded
need to
it.
talk to the reporter.
The assessor put it on the website. But
Yeah.
okay, so we'll table number 4. Get Chris in.
You wanna hand me that? No, make sure. Just looks at it.
This is Chris.
Hi, Chris, we're ready for you.
Okay, thanks.
One do 7. That's just an option. 1 do 7, that's just an option.
Consider for approval contract with Jacobson Westergaard to reclassify DD 29.
I'll make a motion to approve contract with Jacobs and Westergaard to reclassify DD 20.
I'll second that.
Got a motion from Jens Holden, a second from Stensrud to approve the contract for Jacobson Westergaard to reclassify DD 29.
Okay.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. How are you, Chris?
Good.
You got any drainage for us today?
Nothing that's not on the agenda.
She should probably had the other for number 3. Sorry.
You don't need me for number 3.
Well, it refers to drainage. That's what it's all
Not
about.
organized drainage.
Oh, I see.
It is now.
Very unorganized. You guys have anything for drainage?
Nope.
All right, we'll move on to number 6. Consider for approval DD 11 lower ditch tree removal project.
What we'd like is a formal go-ahead to figure out how we're gonna get rid of these trees, to get some estimates, and get that going. There's not really a contract. We have a contract to just establish the district. Now we just wanna go ahead and keep moving forward.
This is the way
Chris and I got the information that we talked about last week, the contractors that go in and chip the trees up, and we got that to.
So where did
Greg.
they start, Terry?
They start here at the road and go all the way through, about through that yellow line.
Really?
I just kinda drew something in there if we were gonna cut across. That's what, I measured about 6,500 to 6,800 feet going like this.
Right. And I think they need to
Who
get
owns
rid of the
this?
trees
Amber.
too.
Was he, will he go along with that?
I,
Is that digging a new ditch, you mean?
not sure about the,
And what I think we wanna do is get rid of the trees to see what we can do.
Well, why would
Because
we get
there's-
rid of the trees if we're gonna dig a new ditch?
Well, that's, I don't know if we
It's a whole
can,
process to get this done, because you gotta mitigate things, and
yeah,
So
we gotta
you wanna get
every-
rid of the trees
we-
first anyway.
right. So that's what we wanna do is just get rid of the trees, see what's out there, see what we
can't
can
even get in
do.
there to assess it before, I mean, you gotta be able to see.
Yeah.
And this is actually part of the district now, so.
And before it wasn't, so it's never been straightened, it's never been anything.
Is that a dug ditch? Probably not.
No,
It's natural.
it's natural.
So do we run into trouble there?
Well, that's what I say, we have, well, we can only do, according to what he said that one time, we're just taking down the trees right now, so we can get in there and look at it.
Mhm.
And then once we get to that point, it's kinda like Buffalo Creek. You're limited, you can just get sediment out of there, you can just get the trees out, the stumps out of there if needed. That's about it. But if you're gonna go to the process of trying to straighten it out, then you have to go through the Corps of Engineers and mitigate things.
Okay. I have no problem with what you're doing.
Okay.
So basically, you're looking for a motion to move forward with tree removal on Lower.
Yes, please.
I'll make a motion to move forward with a DD 11 Lower Ditch Tree Removal Project.
I'll second it.
On a motion from Derby and a second from Jensvold to proceed with the DD 11 Lower Ditch Tree Removal Project. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Okay, so I guess we're up to number 8. Consider for approval auditors transfers.
Yeah, good set of record.
I'll make a motion to approve the auditor's transfers.
I'll second it.
Motion from Derby, second from Jensvold to approve the auditor's transfers. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Yeah, even this first part, if you look at it, should be straightened out too, as long as you're doing it.
Too late. We'll be adjourning probably in 30 seconds.
Okay. I'll just wait.
Open forum. Is there anything for open forum? Anything else? Seeing nothing else for open forum or on our agenda, we stand adjourned.